Sorry, still texting. So let's talk San Diego State. Creighton, the other regional final from earlier on Sunday. Felt like a toss-up going in. It certainly played that way. We can get to the game stuff, but let's just get to, I guess we need to get to the call. I'm not that compelled to talk about it, but here we go. Yes or no? Foul on Ryan Nembhard against Darion Trammell. Chip, what say you?
Foul. Yeah, he had his left hand on his hip, and that's a foul. And I love the way it was described, where if the offensive player beats you, and that is exactly what happened on the very beginning of this one-on-one play, was that Trammell beat Nembhard, had an advantage, and then the left hand delivers a push. That's a foul. It's a good call. Like I am. Oh man. So I was in Stanford for the first weekend, and got to experience. You were just on with like Hakeem. You were just in Stanford, but Hakeem and Joe Musso were debating the LeBron James block on Andre Iguodala from the 2016 finals, right? Was it a goaltend? Because LeBron James's finger swipes the net. So it's like, is that a goaltend or is that an iconic block? This, that, or the other. And what I came back to was the swallow the whistle principle. And I am, in the NBA, a swallow the whistle principle guy, because it's a 7-game series. Because there are other opportunities for you to be able to prove that you are the best team. But in a single game, like a single elimination tournament, like the NCAA tournament, if it's a foul at the 4-minute mark, then it has to be a foul at the end of the game. And we saw Nembhard get beat, and we saw Nembhard put his left hand on the hip and push him just a little bit. It's a foul. And so credit Trammell for knocking down the second of 2 free throws to be able to seal the win. Baylor Shireman might have put his foot on the line also on like the inbounds pass that then we also, reviewed 1,000 times, which built into this exhausting ending. But
it did. I know that was a bummer.
It was a bummer ending, but I
think that's the issue people had with it. It was like, give us a buzzer beater or give us OT. Don't give us that. But it was a foul. It's a foul.
Yeah, it was a foul. Anyway. So sorry to be so long with it, but got to do my Iron College basketball duty and be a little long-winded.
Yeah,
and
that's what we tend to do here.
That's what you do.
I hear you.
But yeah, foul.
Aztecs played it the way they wanted to play it. Now Creighton's capable and very nearly did win. Creighton can beat you in the 50s, 60s, 70s, or 80s. It's built for that. Not deep, but still built for it. Nembhard started hot, then faded late. Kalkbrenner was mostly good, although there were a few opportunities late that he let slip away.
Dude, he missed some bunnies. It was so frustrating.
Sometimes I tend to get diplomatic on this, but let's be real here. Creighton was like, 7 of 16 on layups and dunks, and San Diego State was not much better. It was a 57-56 final that should have been, even like 66-65, something like that, a little more. There was a lot that was given away there, but Lamont Butler just coming up big. I wouldn't have believed that San Diego State could have gotten to the Final Four, beating Alabama and beating Creighton, and having Matt Bradley, the team's only. I'm almost positive this is. I was looking at this going into the regional semis. I think Matt Bradley was the only player for San Diego State that was averaging double-figure scoring on the team, like for the season. He had 2 points against Creighton. He had 2. And against Alabama, he had 6. You tell me he scores 8 total points. I'm telling you, SDSU has no shot.
No, I push back. Because that's not how SDSU is ultimately built. It is not the double-digit points, it's the double-digit minutes. Because for Creighton, outside of here's the minutes for their starting 5: 35, 37, 37, 37, 38. No bench. They were running out of gas. They had no legs on the jump shots, no legs on the 3-pointers. On defense, they were giving up offensive rebounds, and like officially the offensive rebounds, like San Diego State got 13 of them, but it just felt like all 13 of those were the most significant offensive rebounds that you could possibly have. And sometimes they led to 3-pointers. And it was, again, to reference back to my argument from earlier, if Texas had won, my big theme for today was going to be about, in this tournament of chaos and everything falling apart, it was the teams that had enough bodies that were able to get it done. Miami clearly ducked that narrative, but that narrative was initially built here in this game, where I just felt like, from the offensive and defensive standpoint, a Creighton team that I had been like way too high on. Like I wrote the re-ranking the Sweet 16 post for ESPorts.com, and I was way too high on Creighton.
I do not have a chip I was wrong button. I'm with that. So hold on. In honor of that, though, you are going to get it. This must be done here. Where is it? Here we go. This is chip, but it's GP.
They're not good.
No, wait, that was wrong. Sorry. Well, that, but also
I was wrong.
There we go. Okay, here we go.
But Xavier fans were in my mentions, because of course Xavier blasted, Creighton, and they were like, "What are you doing? Moving Creighton up." And I was like, "Well, they got this versatility scoring. Like they can get it from Kalkbrenner, they can get it from Alexander, they can get it from Shireman. Nembhard just went off in this tournament. Blah 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 blah. They got so many different ways to beat you, but like I don't have a sixth option with this Creighton team right now, and I just think San Diego State's a better capital T team." And that's what we saw in this game, is that they were able to be a little bit fresher, get a few more offensive rebounds, a little bit more effort, a little bit more energy. And that ultimately ended up tipping this thing. It's a 1-point game that was decided on a free throw. So yes, there are alternate universes. I know that you're a big multiverse guy, but there are alternate universes that Creighton is in the Final Four. And this is a huge moment for Greg McDermott and a Jays program that has had a ton of great coaches in its history and a lot of great pride and good fan support. But ultimately, man, it just kind of felt like they just didn't have it, man. They didn't have enough juice, didn't have enough gas. And that's where Brian Dutcher and San Diego State, and the way that team is built, the way that they play, a little bit more well-balanced. No one on San Diego State's roster played more than 30 minutes in this. Trammell played 31.
Trammell, they needed him. Yeah.
But everybody else double-digit minutes. And again, all the starting 5, 35 or more. Nobody on the bench double-digit minutes. It's just different.
Look at this graphic on the screen. Look at this. Look what the Aztecs are doing to just kill the souls of their opponents. The averages, I'm going to say it out loud for everyone listening on their phone. Mountain West title game. Utah State was averaging 78, held to 57. Charleston averaging 80, held to 57. Furman averaging 81, held to 52. Bama averaging 82, held to 64. Creighton averaging 74.5, held to 56 points. They dictate the terms under which the game will be played. That doesn't change under Dutcher. By the way, San Diego State is 9-1 in games decided by 5 points or fewer. They are just comfortable in this, man. They are beyond comfortable. And to extend that, Alabama and Creighton, two teams that are good at that, not high level shooting the three, but certainly willing and wanting to shoot the three, and certainly can get hot. They went 5 of 44 from 3-point range, did Bama and Creighton. Goodness, man.
San Diego State is the example of I kind of think 3-point defense is BS.
It's not BS.
But San Diego State makes me think
and it's a little column B. It's a little column A and a little column B, because, and this is after talking to coaches on this stuff,
because you chase them off the
way
line.
That a team will scheme you on that end of the floor, it can have cumulative effects on how you actually get your shots off and where you get your shots off. I understand the theory that 3-point defense can sometimes be a factor of luck. I just don't buy into it, because what's necessarily the difference from taking a shot from 23 feet versus a half foot inside the 3-point line? Really? So I think there can be some luck, but I actually think that teams that are doing it and have proven it, they have an influence over that. That's my take on that.
but 2 for 17 from 3 for Creighton. 2 for 17 from 3. Creighton was 9 for 24 against Princeton, 11 for 24 against Baylor, only 3 for 20 against NC State. But I mean, even the attempts. I mean, we're talking, this is a team that shot 26, 34, 21, 25, 23, 20, 24, 24, less than 20 attempts, 17 attempts against San Diego State. That's where, because what I've heard, like when I push, my pushback is the chase them off the line mentality. It's like, based on the way that we scheme our defense, like we want to not just contest, but we want to even make it so that you don't want to take that three. And San Diego State, with one of the best 3-point defenses in the entire nation, seemed to prove that here against a team that can be very, very dangerous from 3.
How about this for San Diego State? The second team ever to hold all 4 opponents en route to a Final Four below 25% 3-point shooting to the Final Four. Trivia time! Who's the other team? It's happened within the past, I'll give you a window. Let's say it's happened within the past 4 to 14 seasons.
In the last 4 to 14 seasons, there's been a team. And what was
the only team ever? But the answer falls in that range. Yes.
What was the statistic for 3-point defense?
Hold all 4 opponents under 25% 3-point shooting in every game going to the Final Four.
UConn 2014.
Syracuse 2013 did it. Syracuse held opponents collectively to 15% from 3-point range. San Diego State 17%. By the way, Darian Trammell, 4th player ever to go to hit a game-winning foul shot with 2.0 seconds or under remaining this deep into the tournament. So Elite 8, Final Four, National Championship. The others to do it, and yeah, it's a little bit of a bump for Creighton, obviously, but he got it. That was the bucket that sealed it. Hal Lear shouts to 1956 Temple against Cincinnati. Raymar Morgan versus Tennessee for Michigan State in 2010. An unforgettable foul shot. There are 4 instances: Lear, Morgan, Trammell, and then 2019, Kyle Guy. In the Final Four, controversial call. I actually thought it was a good call against Auburn. So, a little history
do we talk
there.
enough about how that was a soft Final Four?
What do you mean?
So, Duke and North Carolina were the best teams in the country that season.
Reminder, everyone listening, this is Cover 3 Podcast, Chip Patterson, our college football podcast. He is based in the Triangle area and is a lifelong resident of the state of North Carolina. I am now outflanked on this podcast by 2 NC residents. That's right.
Listen, that ACC tournament semifinal between Duke and North Carolina was phenomenal. Like, that was because Zion was healthy, and that was not the case. Obviously, he leaves the first game. Second game, I think he sits out too, the one in Chapel Hill. And then when they play in the tournament, it's full rosters, both teams. Like Kobe White's vibing, like everything is moving. That game was incredible. And I walked out of that game thinking, like, well, those are 2 of the best teams in the country. Then Duke gets beat by Michigan State in the Elite 8. North Carolina gets beat by Auburn in the Sweet 16. But then you take a look back and you're like, all right, so Virginia had who did Virginia beat in the Final Four? Oh, it was just, they didn't even have to play Tom Izzo? Oh, okay. All right. They just had to play Texas Tech. Okay. So they just had to play Auburn in its first ever Final Four, and then Texas Tech. Okay. All right, cool. You know, I'm just saying that, like, in 2019, I thought the 2 best teams in the country were Duke and North Carolina. So, you know.
But that's
back at you, boomerang trivia time. Okay, so
let's go.
I said Connecticut. And we're going to get into like Final Four look aheads in just a little bit. Can you name the starting 5 of UConn's 2014 national title team on that first Monday in April?
Okay, so you've got Boatwright, you've got Shabazz. I was there.
I mean, listen, like you're. This is
Boatwright, Shabazz. Hold on, give me a second. Boatwright, Shabazz, DeAndre Daniels.
Yep.
Hold on, the white guy. Neil Scafai.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
Who is the the big man in the middle.
The big man. Yep.
I'm on the right track? Give me a second.
Yeah, you are.
Give me a second. Come on.
6'10".
Hold on.
Sophomore. Because all this UConn stuff had me digging. And I was like, I looked at this starting five and it blew my mind. Because I look at the Kentucky starting five and it's like Aaron Harrison, Andrew Harrison, James Young, Julius Randle, Takari Jackson, Poythress coming off the bench. Like, of course, I remember all these guys.
Tell me I'm right.
And I do not remember a lot of this UConn rotation.
Give it to me. That was a celebratory headphone.
Wait, did you say it?
I said Amita Brahma.
Oh, no.
That's not it?
No.
He's... What?
No. Brema came off the bench.
Oh, this is an outrage.
4 out of 5 is still impressive.
Not it. He didn't... Brahma didn't start?
Nope.
Can I get a fact check?
Give it to you?
I'm looking at... Hold on. Let me look this up. Yeah, give it to me.
Philip Nolan.
Nolan started in the title game?
Yep.
I'm looking it up right now.
Played 19 minutes. Brema played 13.
This is... Gosh, that's embarrassing.
So should
the guy in a $600,000 suit. Go.
I can't believe I got it wrong. I was convinced.
This is shameful. This is absolutely shameful for me.
No. You know what? I think UConn fans are going Brima too. It's ridiculous. I can't believe I got it wrong. Philip Nolan.
Yeah, Philip Nolan, starting big man. But anyway, like looking at that UConn team, I was like, how? But the answer to how on this San Diego State note is how. Well, you held Kentucky to 54 points. You held Florida, the number 3 team at KenPom, to 53. You held Michigan State, the number 9 team at KenPom, to 54. Like, they were locked down, like slow pace, but like lock down defensively. And you know, sometimes like that is the UConn. It's interesting because UConn's more well-rounded, better offensively, but like the UConn path to winning a title is actually more like what San Diego State's facing right now.